Welcome to another day of Bhagavad Gita exploration of bringing spiritual qualities into one's life, and especially this year, the focus is on Samatvam, of being able to be yourself, whatever that is, whatever situation you're in. And I'm starting off with the dedication today, which is to a woman named Savannah. I think it was 25 years ago, we welcomed Savannah into this world, and it's been a brighter place for her presence. Um, so, if you see the thumbnail, it's of Savannah being a very independent young driver at Cedar Point in the bumper cars. And she is a very independent woman now, in that she is doing what she wants to do. Art and music are very important to her. And it's really driving home for me today. One of the themes I'd actually picked out before I remembered, oh, it's my niece's birthday. Good for you. Um, and this is the idea of paradise and hell, um, which is inherent to some religious traditions. Spiritual traditions treat these opposites a bit differently. Because remember, one aspect of Samatvam is equanimity, being able to stay who you are no matter what the opposites of the world bring. Oh, in verses 24 and 25 of chapter 5, there's reference to nirvana, which I've translated for ease in the English language to paradise. Okay, same number of syllables and something of a similar concept, but not exactly. Also in this verse, in the more poetic version, I've used the word sin, and that I've mentioned before, it does not have the same connotation in the East as the West. In the East, my experience is that sin is something that leads you away from your true self, and that nobody has to punish you for, because you punish yourself. And in the West, it's different. Sin can be seen as a force outside of you that pulls you almost against your will, and somebody else punishes you. So in the West, it's a lot more external locus of control, if you're familiar with that term. And in the East, there's more of an internal locus. And I personally prefer the Eastern version, because it does mean I have a choice. And we all, according to many spiritual literatures, have a choice. Um, Even Japanese martial art I took, the philosophy was basically heaven and hell are right here. They don't exist necessarily elsewhere or at a different time, like after you die. Every choice you make in the moment creates paradise or whatever you view its opposite to be. Like in a lot of Eastern spiritual literature, there's a hell, and we, by our choices, can descend to it. We can also go upward. And I don't know if I'd call upward necessarily heaven. It's a different loka. It could be a heaven. There are different levels of heaven, reminiscent of Dante. But it's really got to do with our choice. And one of the choices I think back on my niece's 25 years is, in the moment when she's growing up, and many of us can relate perhaps as parents or aunts or uncles or grandparents, is that there were opportunities to spend more time directly with her and her siblings. But there were also other things that came up, like dying people. And the choice I made, you know, had to do with getting myself established in life, because the town I came from, I didn't feel like I could live there and be myself. So I had to establish myself in a new place, a new profession, a career, making sacrifices for a career. Uh, and then also people who were dying, and looking at taking care of them. And in every moment, I thought I was doing the right thing and the best thing for all concerned. But when you look back, it's so easy to judge yourself, isn't it? And that's the idea of paradise versus hell. If you're doing your best in the moment, and then later you go, I could have done better. Even this morning, I was doing that. I got up super early, and I got, there's so much opportunity. And then by the time I get here, I'm thinking, I did the best in the moments up to here, but I'm thinking I could have gotten so much more done, if only. Do you do your do you do that to yourself today? So I'm going to read verse 25 and then talk a little bit about a practical application today, perhaps. Verse 25 of chapter 5, the poetic translation. That supreme paradise is won by sages whose sins are destroyed, doubts severed, selves restrained, joyful in the welfare of all beings. So, severing your doubts about what you've done in the past and destroying this idea of yourself as a sinful being that deserves punishment, perhaps, and choosing paradise, whatever that means for you, liberation, joy, as mentioned in this verse. So today, as we practice, I'll encourage you to notice, like in a pose, is anything coming up where you feel like I should be doing this better, but maybe you're doing the best you can in this moment. And when we meditate, to contemplate how you might be punishing yourself throughout your day for some perceived sin from long ago. And if you find that you are doing that in any form, can you let that go just for today? Can you let go of punishment and embrace joy? Let's find out. Switch. All righty. I think Savannah would like this shirt, actually. Shall we contemplate? The idea is to reflect on how you might be punishing yourself for something you perceive that you did, even though it was the best choice in the moment, as a sin. Can you give up punishing yourself, if not for the day, for just this next 5 minutes? Can you embrace joy? Let's see. Welcome back. Self-punishment can take many forms, including addiction, angry outbursts, even isolation. And the ironic thing is, we punish ourselves, sure, but we end up punishing those around us that we love and care about even more. So may you find joy, and by finding joy, show your loved ones how to do that as well. And once again, this is for Savannah. Very happy birthday to you. May you choose joy all the days of your life. May you also, and I'll see you again soon.